All right. End of season 2020 update. As you can see up here, it's November 12th. I waited till that long so all the awards were handed out, and I could go over that too. A lot to cover here. Let's jump right into it. The Orioles ended the season 56 and 106, far surpassing our 48, 49 projected wins. And also, as you can see, we'll have the first overall pick in the draft next year. So that's awesome. You can also see our Pythagorean win total was right on par that in the 48 neighborhood. Minus 349 run differential. The next worst in the league. Oh my goodness. Is it 152? Yeah, it's minus 152, the Tigers. Wow. So here, kind of the standings real quick. The Cardinals beat out the Pirates in a tiebreaker on the they tied after 162 games, so they put a tiebreaker. So with that, the winner of the Central jumped a game above 500 for like the first time all year. At one point, the leader was like 7 games below. The Dodgers won 108 games, which was the most. Astros 104. They had 167 run differential, 301 for the Dodgers. That's crazy. And then here's what happened in the playoffs. Unfortunately, the Houston Astros won it all. The Cardinals, after being below 500 most of the year, squeaking in on a play-in game, then knocked off the Braves, knocked off the Mets, and then got swept by the Astros. Dodgers, the drought continues after being like doubling up the next best team in run differential. Couldn't get past the Mets. So that's the MLB playoffs. Let's check out the league awards here. I'm not going to go over all of them, but let's look at the Rookie of the Year. Luis Robert got all 30 first place votes for the AL. 5.7 wins above replacement. Pretty good. NL. Gavin Lux got all 30 first place votes. 4.3 wins above replacement. Toronto's manager won AL Manager of the Year. The Braves manager won NL Manager of the Year. The AL Cy Young, all 30 first place votes, was Garrett Cole. He put up 6 wins above replacement, 12.2 K per 9, 221 innings. Wow, he struck out 301 dudes. Man, that's crazy. NL Cy Young, also all 30 first place votes. Wow. Walker Buehler, 5.9 wins above replacement, 2.54 ERA, whip below 1. Here's the voting. Dakota Hudson, wow, second place. And then Robbie Ray had a good year. Carlos Martinez, healthy and starting again. No absurd names there. And then AL MVP race, quite a few guys got first place votes. Stanton did get the most with 9, and he won it all. He hit 57 home runs. He had an OPS plus of 149 and 5.8 wins above replacement. He led the league in home runs. I think second place was like 56. NL, most valuable player, split first place vote between Betts and Bellinger, teammates. Manny Machado got some votes. Always a favorite around here in Baltimore. Mookie Betts put up 7.4 wins above replacement. And Cody Bellinger put up 8.2. Wow. And as far as I know, I don't think they've re-signed him. No. So it looks like Mookie's probably going to free agency, where he will get some absurd amount of money. It'll be interesting to see where he signs. So just a quick rundown of my team at end of year. Really the only guy, this guy, Andrew Velasquez, he only got 127 plate appearances. He played a lot towards the end of the year, but he put up a 147 runs created plus. And then Santander had a decent year. He, 115. He hit 36 home runs, I think that was like top 15 in the league. He almost got to 100 RBI on a team that was terrible. That's saying something on a team that bad. And he 3.1 wins above replacement. Valleca in part-time duty was above average. Stewart was a little above average as a hitter in 461 plate appearances. So yeah, with them, just a lot of stuff that's not good. Hanneman managed with a 69 runs created plus to put up .8 wins above replacement, which shows his defense is pretty good. Same thing here with the Ruiz, but very below average with the bat, but obviously pretty good with the glove. Pitching, not really a lot to report on. Michael Baumann was absolutely terrible after having a good start, getting hurt, and then coming back at the end of the year. Armenteros pitched pretty well. He put up .5 WAR in 11 starts, a 4.73 FIP. He struck out 9.2 guys per nine. He, of course, was one of the main guys who came over the Mancini trade. John Means didn't have a good year. These are not guys anybody needs to pay attention to. Yeah. And then Romero, Short, German. Those are all guys I got in various trades throughout the year, and I think will definitely be bullpen pieces for me moving forward. And let's go now to the prospect pipeline. And look at my team where they updated. They're saying I have five. Here they say I have 5 top 100 prospects. Asa Lacy, 9th overall. And I'm just going to go by this Baseball News ranking network. Baseball News Network ranking. Over here in player development, it's different. They say I have a lot more top 100 prospects, like 9. And they have like Lacy 6th and Rutschman 10th. And this used to be where you would get that information. And I assume it's ranked by the prospect ranking. And I think that's, I guess, by the scouting agency maybe. But it differs from the Baseball News Network. Anyways, but that's probably neither here nor there. Nobody cares. Baseball News Network is what I kind of go by, even though the other rankings are more favorable. So Lacy is at 9th. He's out all of next year with that torn rotator cuff, though. He was number 2 overall pick. Rutschman slid all the way to 16th, even though he did have a great year. So between Frederick and Bowie, obviously, really nice OPS pluses. He put up, almost 6 WAR? 5.7 WAR? Yeah. So that's Rutschman. He ended the year at 16th. Rylan Bannon came out of nowhere to be ranked 66th overall. He had an awesome year in Norfolk and is probably just going to start at second base next year in Baltimore. 4.3 wins above replacement, 142 OPS plus. So that's awesome. And then DL Hall obviously battled some injuries. He tore his UCL. He's out to the start of next year. He dropped to 81st. Grayson Rodriguez with all his shoulder injuries. He was great when he pitched. But he put up 3 wins above replacement in 14 starts, but he missed like half the year with 2 different shoulder injuries, so that's a bummer. And then we'll go over some of these other guys in a minute. Leo Martez was the international free agent I signed. He comes in at 119th. In the other rankings, he's top 100. Drew Bowser was my first round supplemental pick, and he's coming in at my 8th best prospect. And some more names but a bunch of guys that I'll go through the minor leagues real quick here. Just kind of look at each team and cover some of those other guys there. In Norfolk, Rylan Bannon crushed everybody with the bat and overall WAR. Mullins had a great season. He'll be up next year. Mountcastle was good. He'll be up. Toro will be up. Hayes will be up. Hayes is at all option years. Cordoba, I think, is probably like long-term utility guy for me at best, but he'll probably be my starting shortstop next year. Yusniel Diaz had a terrible year. He was hurt, but a 77 runs created plus, only half a win above replacement. That's not too good. Going down to AA batters, let's rank it by WAR here. Nick Matan, not all of his numbers were with me. He came over in that Tanner Scott trade, but 4.7 wins above replacement. An OPS plus, it probably ended somewhere around 130 between those two. I would love it if he could get that shortstop rating up to 50 or 55. Interested to see what he can do next year. Chas McCormick, who came over as really a throw-in piece in the Mancini trade. He was really like the 4th or 5th guy. But he put up 4.4 wins above replacement and a 146 OPS plus. Now, yeah, he's 25 in AA, but I'm excited to see what he can do next year in AAA. Cole Freeman came over from the Nationals. He was the main piece in the Givens trade. He couldn't play third base to start the year, but I got him all the way up to a 50 by having him work on that. 3.6 wins above replacement while learning a new position is pretty good, and a 113 OPS plus. Again, he's older, but I think he might be a serviceable major league player. We'll see kind of like how he how he pans out. Ryan McKenna, he'll be up in AAA next year. He'll be on the 40-man. He can play all three outfield positions. 3.3 wins above replacement, 116 OPS plus. And then Victor Mesa, after he came over, the Marlins were done with him. Just absolutely killed it at both levels. Here's Frederick. He put up a 110 OPS plus in 420 plate appearances. And then in Bowie, he came over and posted 1.6 WAR in 28 games and a 168 OPS plus. And he's an awesome fielder. So if he can be even just below average with the bat, he has a chance to be on a major league roster. And I mentioned Freeman with the positioning. Some of these guys benefited from it too. Austin Hayes is now 70 at left field. I think he was like a 50 to start the year. Right field's up to a 60. I couldn't get his center field up anymore, but that's awesome. That's why I had him down here this whole year while the major league roster didn't matter. Same with Mullins. Mullins was like kind of below average at the corner outfield positions. He's now above average, I'd say. So they can both be good corner outfield gloves. Let's see what's going on in Frederick. Kyle Isbell was the guy who came over for Jose Iglesias, and he's a really good fielder. He put up 4.3 wins above replacement, a 127 OPS plus. That's awesome. And so happy about that. Caden Grenier, what year did they draft him? He was a first round supplemental round pick in 2018. And he's 24, a little old to be playing high A. I probably should have bumped him up, honestly. But he 118 OPS plus, 4.1 wins above replacement. Not a lot more going on at this level. Lizardo was a guy I bought from the independent leagues and did well. Not a lot more going on here. I bumped up Rutschman. I bumped up Victor Mesa. Delmarva. This was the highlight of Delmarva, really. Kyle Stowers, who was a second-round pick in 2019 for the O's, 5 wins above replacement, 148 OPS plus. He'll be in Bowie next year, obviously. And this guy came out of nowhere. I don't know if these ratings are going to play in the major leagues, but they certainly played in A-ball this year. 4.1 wins above replacement, 141 OPS plus. Some of these guys I would have bumped up throughout the year, but I had different guys at different levels working on positions. Like Stowers, I would have bumped up, but I had guys in Double-A that I wanted to work on their outfield rating, so I kept him there. So that's kind of why I was pretty conservative with bumping guys up. Nelson Molina is a minor leaguer. Watson is a guy that a lot of teams are interested in trade talks. I've held on to him. I'm not even sure how the O's got him. Third round of 2019. And he had a good year at the bat, 113 OPS plus. So we'll keep moving on to Aberdeen. Tatis is 20 years old. He's a guy I signed as a minor league free agent. He started the year at rookie ball and was tearing it up, and now he tore it up. I don't know if he's going to do anything, but at 20 years old, 141 OPS plus, I'll take it. Let's see. None of these other guys are really big pieces for me at this point. Of course, they could develop, but none of them are like top prospects. But over with the Catonsville Comets, with, of course, Gunnar Henderson is the main prospect here. He didn't do much this year, a 93 OPS plus. 0.5 wins above replacement in 73 games. Not a lot going on there. My low A ball teams do not have that many high prospects. Let's see what's going on here. These are a bunch of guys that I drafted. None of these guys played much, but Jorge Hernandez, he was a minor league free agent signing that I got, and he did pretty well. Other than that, not a lot here. These are mainly 18, 19-year-olds like Jackson Miller. He was a 10th round pick, 101 OPS plus, 0.8 WAR. But an 18-year-old who wasn't a high draft pick. Again, not a lot of these guys are top picks. This guy was a higher pick, negative 1.9 WAR, 24 OPS plus. He's 18. I drafted him pretty high, I thought. Yeah, round 2. That didn't work out too well so far. But again, 18 years old, whatever. Just looking for guys who are standing out here in a lot of playing time. This guy, wow. My round 24 pick, of course, he's 22, but he absolutely murdered rookie ball as a 22-year-old. I probably should have bumped him up halfway through, but I didn't. Oh, well. This guy, Bo Majkowski, he was a 16th round pick and did pretty well, but again, he's 22. Not all excited about a guy ripping it up down here. Drew Bowser already covered. He was my First round supplemental pick. He's 18 years old and had a solid season. I'll take that. All right, let's quickly look at the pitching here. Corey Abbott. Goodness, this guy came over in the Chance Sisco trade. He did really well at Bowie and then came up to Norfolk and just dominated. 9.9 K per 9 in 38 innings, put up a 1 win above replacement, 1.64 ERA. So he put up almost 3 WAR between the two levels. He's Rule 5 eligible, so he'll be on the 40-man and competing for a spot in Baltimore for sure. These are two guys I got in late season trades. Most of those stats weren't with the Tides. Brandon Bilek he came over in the Mancini trade. He was actually one of the main pieces. He had pretty bad luck. He put up 1.4 wins above replacement with a 5.20 ERA. So if we find him here, we can see his FIP was a 4.53. So, and he struck out 10.4 K per 9. So pretty good. Javi Guerra was absolutely dominant as a reliever. He came over in that trade with the Padres, but he put up 1.7 wins above replacement as a reliever. That's pretty awesome. He'll be in Baltimore next year, I'd imagine. As you know, Hammer, Pop, Guerra, Abbott, Bilek, maybe Seabold and Parkinson, Lothar. Those are all guys who compete for spots next year. Zimmerman, Wells, Aiken, all actual O's prospects, didn't really do much this year, and I added so much pitching depth that they kind of got pushed down. They might even be exposed in the Rule 5 draft. I'm not sure I've got room for them with all these guys I brought in. Let's see here. What's going on in... So Bailey Falter was a guy who I traded for, and he was really good for both the Phillies and me in the minor leagues. Put up almost 3 WAR. DL Hall, again, he missed a lot of the second half with that elbow injury. His ERA was bad, but it was still 1.1 wins above replacement, so I'd imagine his FIP was a good bit lower. Yeah, his FIP was a run lower than his ERA. Durbin Feltman came over from the Red Sox. He's going to be a major league reliever soon for us. He's not Rule 5 eligible, so I'm not going to add him, but he'll pitch in AAA next year and maybe get added. Yeah, and then just a bunch of dudes. Some of these guys are pretty good. Like Brady Falter had, he put up 3 wins above replacement, but I added so many pitchers in trades for guys I was just going to designate first time in anyways. Anyways, and then we go here. Not a lot going on in Frederick, honestly. As you can see from their record. Darius Valdez was a guy I claimed. For some reason, he was a free agent. I'm not sure who cut him. Oh, the Padres did. So he got suspended 12 games after a brawl. And I don't know. The Padres decided they'd had enough of him. And I put him at Frederick because my other bullpens were so crowded, even though he's 25 and he struck out 18 guys per 9. So he clearly needs to be in AAA. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see if we can do it. He looks like he could be a major league reliever probably. Not a lot else going on in Frederick. Delmarva, of course, has Grayson Rodriguez, who was amazing in the 14 starts that he made. Hopefully he can stay healthy next year. Lord. Dallas Litcher is a guy who my scout does not love, but every team asked for him in trades, and he had a pretty decent season. He's somebody who, based off of other teams' interest and his stats performance, I'm going to kind of ignore that my scout's low on him. And I'm not going to use him as a trade piece. Not a lot else going on in Delmarva. They were 90 and 50 this year. Thanks to Grayson Rodriguez, Peralta, pretty solid pitching there. What was their hitting again? Why were they so good? Stowers and Andrew Dashback, yeah, and then some other guys who were kind of older. Wow, good year for Delmarva. Aberdeen pitching. Let's see here, who did what? Cade Stroud led the way with a whole .7 WAR in 15 starts. He was a 12th round pick in 2019. Not a ton going on here. Again, kind of like with my hitters. My little A ball just doesn't have a ton of prospects. The Catonsville Comets. Anybody do anything for them? This guy did. He was already in the system. He put up 1.3 WAR as a 20-year-old in low A, so he'll go to Frederick next year. But again, no real top prospects here. Asa Lacey, of course, he made one start into his rotator cuff in the first inning. He's out for 10 more months. So he's missing all next year. It sucks. Still sucks. the Skaggsville Orioles, had some guys put up okay numbers, but again, no top prospects yet. Those guys are so young. I mean, they're 18. A lot of them are late round draft picks. It's going to be a year or two. Ronan Kopp pitched really well. He put up 1 WAR in 8 starts, a 2.92 ERA, 3.42 FIP, 11.2 strikeouts per 9. He was a round 4 pick. He's only 18, so I'm not sure if I'll bump him up because he honestly might get crushed at the next level with these ratings. But I mean, he seemed to pitch well enough. So we'll see. He could be in low A ball next year. So then the plan for the offseason is I have so many, older prospects that are Rule 5 eligible that I need to add to the 40-man that I doubt I'll add really any free agents. I think I'll probably look to add 2 catchers who both have leadership ability. Other than that, I think I'm pretty set on the major league roster. Next year I'm not going to intentionally suck as bad as this year. Like I'm not going to have Hayes down and all those guys down just to work on defensive positioning. I mean, my roster will probably, have Mountcastle, Toro, Hayes, Mullins, a bunch of those pitchers. So a lot of those guys will be up, and next year will kind of be like an evaluation year to see like, all right, what prospects are going to be long-term pieces for me? Which ones can I trade away? 2021 I don't think I'll be competitive, but it'll be more fun because I'll actually be evaluating prospects who have come up and pieces for the future. I think 2022 will probably be the first year that I'll actually maybe flirt with 500 and be competitive if some of these prospects take big steps, get 2 or 3 guys who really develop, continue to develop the farm system, maybe bring in a free agent or 2. At that point, I'll probably bring in a new manager if there's a really awesome one down there. But, again, in 2021, not really looking for wins at the major league level, although I'm sure I'll be a bit better because I am bringing up a bunch of talent from the minor leagues. But, yeah, that's it. And I'm going to do an opening day broadcast for 2021. Probably, I'm thinking, Sunday, whatever that Sunday is, I'm thinking, is that the 12th? Sunday, April 12th. Trying to get a count. Yeah, Easter Sunday, the 12th. I'm probably going to do a opening day broadcast just like last time. Anyways, that's the end of the year update. I don't expect anything major to happen over the offseason, like maybe a Rule 5 pick and signing a couple catchers. That's about it. Probably no major trades since I basically traded everyone. So I'll on opening day on Sunday, I will update the major league roster and then do the opening day live broadcast of the game. But that's all for now from the 56 and 106 Orioles 2020.